When I'm diving, it forces me to be more present. I have to be more in the moment because it's peaceful. It's peaceful in the water. Like, okay, there's times where you have the chaos from life and when you get into the ocean, it's like all that kind of just washes away.
Barrington Scott didn't learn to swim until he enlisted in the Marine Corps at 18 years old. That decision set him on an unlikely path to become a scuba diver. Beneath the surface of the water, surrounded by coral, sea creatures, and caves, Barrington discovered a deep sense of peace and connection. Over the last decade, he's dedicated his life to exploring the underwater world through snorkeling, scuba, and freediving. Barrington has since lived in coastal towns all over the world, diving as much as possible. In 2024, he even set a Guinness World Record for scuba diving on all 7 continents. I'm Shelby Stanger, and this is Wild Ideas Worth Living, an REI Co-op Studios production presented by Capital One and the REI Co-op MasterCard. Barrington Scott, welcome to Wild Ideas Worth Living, all the way from Thailand. You're like one of our furthest guests this year.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
What are you doing in Thailand right now?
You know, a little bit of everything, a little bit of nothing, relaxing, chilling, kind of taking a break.
So where'd you grow up? Because you got this great, you're not from Thailand.
No, absolutely not. I'm originally from Bronx, New York. Yeah, born and raised. And I spent some time in other parts of New York, like Brooklyn, Queens. I was raised in foster care, so I kind of bounced all over. And then I moved to the South in my teens, around like 13, 14, and finished off my high school year.
Where in the South did you go?
South Carolina. My adopted mother wanted us in a more quieter environment where we can focus on our grades and just staying out of trouble. And so, yeah, she moved us to the middle of the woods. I was indoors for the first year because I wasn't used to the gnats, the mosquitoes, the deers, the bears, the snakes. So, I kind of stayed indoors for the first summer, and then I, creeped my toe out the next summer, and I started doing more outdoor things. Yeah.
So is that how you found your love of the outdoors and nature?
Well, it started I think my interest started, I was a little bit of a nerd growing up. So I kind of my outlet was watching a lot of Nat Geo, a lot of Discovery. But it wasn't until I moved to the South where I had that exposure of the outdoors and going out into the woods and the ponds and the lakes and all that good stuff is where that's kind of it piqued my interest in wanting to, be outdoors more. And then during my senior year of high school, I kind of was slacking off because it's your last year of high school. You kind of I made it this far. It's I can slack off a little bit, and ended up my GPA just took a tumble. And then a couple of weeks later, I had this recruiter, all in his dress blues. I remember he came to the school and he was like, he pulled me over. He's like, "Are you Barrington?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Do you ever think about joining the Marines?" And I said, "No, it wasn't. It's not my goal to join the Marines. I'm gonna finish high school, go off to college, da da da." But then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back some other time." So during this time, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I wanted to study architecture, but my GPA wasn't high enough at the time, just because again I was slacking off my senior year, so I didn't get any scholarships. And I didn't want any student loans. And so when the recruiter came back, I was like, "Well, tell me again about the Marines. Tell me, give me some more information." And so he's telling me, he kind of led with, "You have the GI Bill, they pay for college, and you get all these benefits." And I was like, "Wait, back up. So I can go to school for free?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, sign me up. You should have led with that at the first meeting."
A month after high school, Barrington entered Marine Corps boot camp. The training was brutal, but his hardest challenge wasn't the long runs or the drills, it was the water. Barrington couldn't swim, but in basic training, he had to face his fears head on. I'm curious how you learned to swim so quickly. Did the Marines teach you?
So swim qual was 2 days long. The first day, they taught us the basics, and I was able to pick it up because I only failed one portion of the swim qual, which was the treading water portion. I just couldn't grasp that down the first day.
Yeah, it takes most people a lot longer than one day to learn how to swim.
Yeah, I remember vividly, actually. We was on this platform, and we had to jump off and tread water for 2 minutes. So I'm at the edge of this platform, and my drill instructor saying, okay, recruit, I need you to move. I need you to jump. And I'm looking like, I'm scared. All I know is he pushed me. He pushed me into the pool. And I'm trying to tread water, but I was sinking like a rock. And one of the main things they tell you to do during safety training is that do not hold on to the next Marine, right? If you're drowning or you're having trouble, just kind of like swim to the edge or whatever, wait for help. When you're panicking, you forget the protocol, right? You forget, oh, what I'm supposed to do A, B, and C. I see this guy, he's floating in treaded water so effortlessly. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grab onto you. So I grabbed onto him and we were both drowning. So they had to save us both.
Barrington finished boot camp and was immediately deployed to Afghanistan. The experience was intense and often overwhelming. He struggled to manage the stress. 6 months into his deployment, Barrington needed a break, so he booked a cruise to the Bahamas. On that trip, he discovered the underwater world for the very first time.
It was my first cruise. I didn't know what to expect. First time, like, officially out of the country outside of my deployment. So I was just excited to be out, just kind of experience it all. Just drinking everything. I'm, just having like the drinks, pouring it back, or just like enjoying the cruise. And we get to the Bahamas.
You're like 21 years old? 22?
Yeah, like 21. Yeah, I was 21. And we got to the Bahamas, and I remember the ship offering a scuba diving excursion. And I was like, oh, scuba diving. I was like, oh, that sounds epic, sign me up. So normally to get scuba certified, you go through, it's called open water certification, right? And it's it can be between 3 to 5 days, a 3 to 5 day certification, which you learn all the basics, how to like take a mask off, breathe, like the whole nine. And so they teach you all of the techniques. And after, your 5 days, you pretty much certify for life. So you just do that one time, you certify for life. Now, for people who is vaguely interested in wanting to know about scuba or wanting to experience scuba without having to do the certifications, and they take half of the day to teach you all of the basics, and they take you out into the ocean. And you're not going that deep. You're going anywhere from like 10 to 15 feet, maybe a little bit deeper if you're really comfortable. And yeah, you get to experience scuba diving for the first time. And for me, it was the most amazing thing up until that point, because it's like, oh, this is like, I'm in the water for the first time this long, and I'm seeing all this, marine life, and there's so much going on. And I was slightly overstimulated, but I was so excited, and it was just so magical.
Well, tell me more. What did you see?
Oh, it was such a long time ago, but I remember seeing like, just different species of fish, some stingrays, sea turtles. The coral was nicely like bright and healthy. It piqued my interest in wanting to get certified and wanting to have more of these experiences.
After his vacation, Barrington finished his enlistment, moved to North Carolina, and enrolled in culinary school. His days were filled with classes, kitchen work, and long hours training to become a chef. Once he graduated, Barrington bought a house and he fell into a comfortable routine. But something felt off. The trauma of his past started creeping in, and his mental health began to suffer.
I was in this weird space in my life where I was like depressed. I was dealing with so many like mental health elements. I was dealing with PTSD, depression, and just trauma from like my childhood, from the military, from like deployment. Just everything was crashing on me at once, and I felt like I was suffocating. I couldn't breathe. I just felt, it was so many emotions at once, and I felt like I needed to get away. I needed to escape. And what was initially a 3-week trip turned into a gap year that kind of like changed the trajectory of my whole life. So as I was planning my 3-week trip to Southeast Asia, I was stumbling upon this thing called gap year, right? And at the time, I was like, what is a gap year? I never heard of it up until then. And it's like, you take a year off. It's like a year sabbatical of life. And you just go enjoy life. You go frolic any way you want for a year. Which I was like, oh, this sounds amazing. Like, why haven't I heard about this? And so I was like, oh, this sounds more like my speed. I'll maybe take a year off and figure out what I want to do with, my next stage of life, and just figure some things out. And so I was like, you know what? It's not going to be 3 weeks. I'm going to take a year off. And so by that time, I had a house, I had a car, so I just finished graduating college. I had my partner, a dog, the picket fence. So I had the American dream, right? And this, mind you, I was like 24, 25.
Yeah, that's incredible. Where was your house?
In North Carolina. in Charlotte.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's like, I was like, well, at the same time, on top of like just dealing with all of this, I was like, I felt like I was rushing to this point, right? This point in my life where I was like, okay, is this it? Is this what I obtained? This, this American dream, this is a dream, right? And I was like, I'm only 25, So again, I was just kind of like really confused, like I said, in a really weird space. And so I ended up selling my house, selling my car, pretty much selling everything. I was like, everything has to go. I told my partner, hey, I'm selling the house. You don't got to go home, but I'm selling this house. So you got to figure out some place to live. I was just ready to just pretty much get away, right? And so anyway, he was like, okay, well, you can sell a house, you can sell everything, but we're staying together, right? I was like, okay, fine, we'll figure it out, but I'm leaving. Anyway, I ended up buying a one-way ticket to Malaysia. Everything happened so fast that when I landed in Malaysia, I didn't have a place to stay. I'm at the airport. Like, I have a photo of me, like with my hat, my little backpack, and it's like, what did I just do? I'm here in Malaysia, no plans, no place to stay for tonight. I'm just here, right? And so I sat down with myself a little bit and I cried for a second because I was like, I really did it. Like, I'm here. And I had like I said, this little moment with myself. And I was like, okay, well, we figure out a place to stay for tonight first. And I could figure life out from here. But like the whole year I said to myself, I'm going to be a yes man. Anything I want to do, I had this lump sum of money from selling my house and selling everything. So I was like, whatever I want to do, I'm just going to do it. And so that's what I did.
During that year in Malaysia, Barrington fully embraced a life of adventure, island hopping, eating street food, and encountering local wildlife. Best of all, he was able to scuba dive as much as he wanted. Just a few months into his time in Malaysia, he earned his advanced scuba certification and began to understand the ocean on a deeper level. What about some of the most amazing dives you did then?
Yeah, my most amazing dive. I want to say it was Raja Ampat, because Raja Ampat, even to this day, it's like one of the top tier dive locations in the world. So I did a diving on an island. It was beautiful. I think there was like 2 to 3 islands surrounding us, right? It was so shallow at some points where you can literally just essentially walk to the other island if you want to. But because they have so much coral, you just kind of like snorkel. So you can literally just snorkel to the other island. So it was amazing. Can you just imagine that? Just nothing but coral in between the islands. You just swim in and you see like the sea turtles, different, like I said, many species of fish. Like it's alive, right? And I think what was most amazing is that at that point, there was like a drop off where you can just see white tip sharks, black tip sharks, some octopus, which let me tell you, it's rare to see octopus. Out of all of my dives, I've probably seen octopus probably like twice. I've seen many species of sharks, like other species, but like octopus is just really rare to catch them. So crystal clear, you can see like 50 meters down. It was, like I say, it was just pristine.
What does diving do for you? I'm like curious. You kind of had struggled with mental health for this year. I think a lot of young 20-year-olds do. I mean, you achieved the American dream and you're like, this is what it is. Like, I'm not into this. It's not making me happy. And you had found diving, pretty young. But what does it do for you, like mentally, emotionally?
Yeah, so diving at the time, it was really therapeutic for me, right? On land, I'm really high energy, a tad bit anxiety, but for the most part, I'm high energy. I'm always on 100, right? And so when I'm diving, it forces me to be the complete opposite. I have to be more present. I have to really be more aware of like how my body's moving, and it forces me to also like I said, to be more reflective. It's peace.
Diving beneath the surface and looking for aquatic life gave Barrington something he couldn't find on land. It provided him space to breathe, to think, and to imagine what might come next. Barrington's sabbatical evolved into a nomadic life abroad. Most recently, Barrington was living in Thailand, where he watched a documentary that sparked his wildest idea yet. Want to earn rewards on sale items this holiday season? The only way to do it is with the REI Co-op MasterCard. In fact, card members earn 5% in card rewards on all REI purchases. That's right, all REI purchases, including trending gifts and holiday deals. And here's the best part. You can redeem card rewards as you earn them. That means your rewards are available to use for your holiday gifting, including gifts you purchase for yourself. Personally, I'm hoping to snag a fleece from REI's new Campwell collection. Don't have the REI Co-op MasterCard? Find out if you're pre-approved with no risk to your credit score. Just go to rei.com/MasterCard-podcast. That's rei.com/MasterCard-podcast. Terms apply. More than 100 years ago, Nikon's very first product was actually binoculars. That's right, not cameras, binoculars. Today, Nikon is still crushing it in the optics game. From the trails to the treetops, Nikon binoculars are built to go the distance. Designed in Japan with precision engineering and decades of optical expertise, they deliver brightness, sharpness, and clarity, whether you're birding, hiking, checking the surf, or just taking in the views. The Monarch series is rugged enough for your wildest adventures, while the Pro Staff lineup offers incredible value without compromising performance. And with one of the lowest return rates in the industry, you know these binoculars are built to last. So next time you're out chasing wild ideas, bring a pair of Nikon binoculars and see the world like never before. What are you waiting for? Head to your local REI store or rei.com and grab a pair today. Hey everyone, I want to tell you about a podcast I think you're going to love. It's called Finding Mastery. Each week, you'll dive into the minds of the world's greatest athletes, leaders, thinkers, and doers with past Wild Ideas guest, Dr. Michael Gervais, a high-performance psychologist who's worked with Super Bowl-winning NFL teams, Fortune 50 CEOs, Olympic medalists, and extreme athletes exploring the edge of human potential. Tune in as Dr. Gervais sits down with high performers like David Goggins, Brene Brown, Jimmy Chin, Lindsey Vonn, and Alex Honnold to translate their mental skills into tools you can use to unlock your potential. If you're looking for a podcast to inspire you and provide actionable takeaways to become your very best self, I recommend you check out Finding Mastery, available wherever you listen to podcasts. In 2024, Barrington Scott set the Guinness World Record for the fastest time to scuba dive on all 7 continents. Long before his record, Barrington was already living an adventurous life, traveling around the world and diving in some of the most stunning locations. But the inspiration for this particular challenge came from an unexpected source, a film about the legendary swimmer and past Wild Ideas guest, Diana Nyad. I want to talk about this wild idea you had, which is how we found you. I mean, you broke the Guinness record for scuba diving in all 7 continents. A kid who couldn't swim until he was 18.
Right.
Has the Guinness record for diving. It's really cool.
Yeah, thank you.
When did this wild idea even happen?
So last year, February, and I was watching a Netflix documentary called Nyad. Have you heard of it?
Of Diana?
I think that's her name, right?
Diana Nyad, the swimmer?
Yes.
Yeah, we've interviewed her.
Oh!
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm a big fan. So I'm watching her documentary on Netflix. My lazy ass sit on this couch, watching this woman swim from Cuba to Florida. And I want to do something as epic as this. And so I'm calling my friend. Like, I just finished watching this documentary. This woman swam from freaking Cuba to Florida nonstop, 25 hours. This is incredible. So I was like, I want to do something just as, as I want to have an incredible adventure like this, right? And so my friend, he's like, well, why don't you do a Guinness record or something? I was like, a Guinness record? I was like, oh. I took a pause for a second because I was like, oh, I didn't think about just doing a Guinness record. Right? I didn't know you could just wake up, and just do a Guinness record, right? He's like, no, just go on the website, type in scuba or whatever you want to do and just do it. I was like, oh, I didn't know you can do this. Again, man, it's all new to me, right? So I was like, I don't waste no time. So I'm gonna get this website. And so I type in scuba and I'm looking through the records of what has been done, what hasn't been done. I was like, okay, what's feasible, what's affordable? And I stumbled upon like, oh, fastest time to scuba dive on 7 continents. And I was like, oh, this seems very doable. Like very doable. I was like, I can scuba dive on 7 continents. That doesn't seem that hard. So I was like, okay, well, the biggest issue is how the hell am I afford this? So I applied to do the record, which if people don't know is that if you see a record that you want to complete, you can apply and they'll send you like the parameters regarding, the record, and you just adhere to the parameters and you just complete the record, and whatever evidence that they ask for, you just send it, right? So that's pretty much what happened with this record. I sent over my itinerary, which took me all of a few days to plan out thanks to ChatGPT. Work smarter, not harder, right? So I had ChatGPT. I was like, hey, what would be the fastest route, the fastest itinerary to dive on 7 continents? And so they sent me a couple of plans. I kind of like tweaked some locations. Anyway, sent it to them. They approved it. And the next obstacle was for me was just kind of like raise the money. I was like, I can't afford this right now completely. So I ended up starting a GoFundMe, which raised about $4,500. And I had some friends send me some money personally on the side. And then I had Cressy sponsored all of my gear.
Cressy makes really nice dive masks.
They do. And so with all of that, it saved me about like 10 grand. And so I ended up putting up out of my personal savings, like another 15 grand. For me, it's like one of them things like money comes, right? Money would come. I'm still young, whatever. I just want to enjoy my life. And so, yeah, I set off on this expedition.
It took Barrington 19 days, 19 hours, and 40 minutes to scuba dive on every continent. At each location, he needed to be underwater for at least 15 minutes and descend 5 meters or 16 feet below the surface. His journey began in Australia, then continued through Thailand, Egypt, and Malta, which is an island off the coast of Italy. He then crossed the Atlantic to dive in Florida and Argentina before setting the record in Antarctica. The travel alone was a logistical puzzle, but each dive was memorable in its own way. Tell me a little bit about some of these dives. Like, which one is the most memorable? You talked about a cemetery underwater in Miami. What does that even look like? Like, what kind of cemetery is underwater?
It was the most significant for me, I think, because, well, 2 things. One is the only official underwater cemetery where you can get cremated. And what happens is that they take your remains and I guess they make some kind of like special cement and they turn you into a marine animal of your choosing. You can plan ahead of time. So like, if you plan to be a dolphin, they turn you into a dolphin, and then they'll set up like a little space for you underwater. They'll plant your statue. And what happens is that you can pay upwards from like anywhere from like, I think 15 grand to like a couple $1 million because you can actually build a whole mausoleum. Yeah, it's actually pretty incredible. So I changed my will. I was like, hey, turn me into an octopus. Okay, when I die, use some of my money, turn me into an octopus. I want to be underwater. Oh, fun fact. You know Julia Child?
Yep.
She's buried there.
Really? The famous chef and culinary, like, amazing.
Yep. So she's buried there, which that was pretty cool to know. I think the most second interesting dive was, I'm gonna say kind of, I don't want to put them in any particular order, but diving in Antarctica itself, I feel like it's a very exclusive experience because not a lot of people get to experience Antarctica and then also dive in Antarctica. First of all, I'm freezing. I was freezing. I was freezing my behind off. So I didn't get to fully enjoy it because I'm like, oh my God, I have all these layers under me, but I'm still cold. My face is freezing. I can't feel my lips. And I was like, but this iceberg is massive. It like probably went down like 120 meters. Like it just seemed like to go on forever. But it was pretty huge and it was pretty cool. So that was a cool dive.
These dives sound incredible. Okay, so how long did you spend in each place?
Yeah, it's pretty quick. I spent about 3 to 4 days in each location. I fly in, get set up. The next day I would dive, and then the next day I would either wait it out, let my gear dry, or I would either fly out the next day. Yeah, it's pretty much the setup.
Oh yeah, because you had to travel with wet gear.
Yeah, right. So I was like, let me not travel with wet gear because that can start smelling and just not. I was like, I'd rather not have those issues. So yeah, it was like about 3 to 4 days in each location. So it wasn't that strenuous, honestly. I think the most strenuous part was the time zone changes just so quickly. But aside from that, like it was one of them things where when people ask me, "Oh, did you enjoy the journey?" I was like, "Yeah, but not really," because I pretty much had my head down. I was pretty much focused on like just getting from A to B and, rinse and repeat until I finished the record. So it was kind of like a race.
How did you keep a record of all of this?
So I had a whole system in place, which usually I'm not just organized, but for this I had to like really be focused. But because each dive I dive with a dive buddy. And so I told him ahead of time, I was like, "Hey, I'm doing this record. It's really imperative that I have all the footage from when I enter to when I get out the water. Keep this GoPro on me at all times. Do not take it off of me." And that's pretty much what happened. And so each dive I had somebody take some footage of me. In between that, I had people would be like, "Hey, can you record me real quick?" And people are really, helpful. They were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, sure, I'll help you. I'll record you real quick." So that's pretty much was that. And I just pretty much combined all of the footage together and pretty much sent it over to Guinness.
So you just had random strangers basically help you.
Pretty much,
time.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to all the random strangers.
What was it like when you finished in Antarctica and then, got the record?
Let's see. It was when I surfaced, the first thing I reached for was my camera because I got to document this, right? But as I'm documenting, this is like my actual reaction of like me completing the record because now I get to like really process the emotions, right? So I'm like, "Oh my God, I completed this record. The Guinness World Record, 7 continents, 19 days, da 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 da." And so it was just a rush of excitement, rush of adrenaline. And yeah, just really excited. And again, it was one of them things I'll always remember for the rest of my life.
What happened when Guinness actually sent you the record?
Oh, that actually was a thing because, okay, I'm really impatient. And so when I sent them over the evidence, I also paid for the expedited process so I can get it within 5 days. Because they say it can take anywhere from like 2 weeks to 2 months. And I was like, I'm not waiting that long. 4 days passed. And I was like, I haven't heard anything back. I was like, "Hey, I'm messaging them. It's coming up on the time. I haven't heard anything from y'all." And I'm not sure if they messaged me right away. I think they messaged me on like the 6th day. And they was like, "Oh, we're working with CBS to deliver the news." So I was like, okay, I can relax. I know this is happening, whatever. So when I got the interview with CBS, it was live. So I was doing an interview and correspondent, his name Skylar. Yeah. He's like, "Hey, do you know if you got the record?" I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I got the record. He was like, "Well, we got something for you." And I looked behind me and they, presented me with the Guinness record. I was like, "Oh, snap." I mean, I kind of knew, but you got to play the field. Like, oh my God. Like, it was still exciting to get the plaque, to actually have it, tangible, like in my hand. And so, yeah, I was excited.
Since finishing the record, Barrington has been living back in Thailand, enjoying his time abroad for a little longer. He's also finishing up online classes in order to go back to school to become a physician's assistant. One day, he hopes to work with Doctors Without Borders. If you want to learn more about Barrington and what he's up to, find him on Instagram at bj.thetraveler with 2 L's. That's bj.thetraveller. Wild Ideas Worth Living is part of the REI Podcast Network. It's hosted by me, Shelby Stanger, produced by Annie Fassler, Sylvia Thomas, and Sam Piers-Nitzberg of Puddle Creative. Our senior producer is Jenny Barber. Our executive producers are Paolo Motola and Joe Crosby. As always, we love it when you follow the show, take time to rate it, and write a review wherever you listen. And remember, some of the best adventures happen when you follow your wildest ideas.